Coming up next on Authentic Stories by Sue Maud. Everyone has a story to tell. Stay tuned and let's talk about it. Khadija Mwanamboka is a true philanthropist. Her story is a great motivation for us all because she is living proof that disability does not stop anyone from reaching their goals and dreams in life. What is important is to believe in your dreams, stay focused, be grounded, have compassion, and have a willingness to understand and be understood. Not forgetting that you need to connect so others can see themselves in you. Khadija Mwanamboka, there you are. I'm so happy to have you on board this interview.
Thanks
because
for
of the
having
person
me.
that you are, and also because of what you have done to a diverse group of people. You have impacted on them so positively. We were having a conversation the other day and you mentioned that you're disabled and that you were curious to know as to whether this is genetic and as to whether you can transfer it to your children. Have you found out something about this?
Yes, I was in Houston, Texas, and I was talking to my aunt. I told her, I'm really curious. I don't know if my disability is something that I could pass it on to my children. And she told me, I'm sure it's not. And I said, but I don't know, I want to be sure before I have children. And so we arranged a meeting with the doctor. And when I went to see the doctor, he told me that maybe when your mother was pregnant, she did not have enough blood. He said, if you can ask, when she was pregnant, was she really sick? So what I did is I called my aunt and I asked her, when my mom was pregnant with me, well, how was she? Was she sick? She said, yeah, she was very weak. She got sick every day. They were advising her to eat, food that could make her stronger and for her to have enough blood during her delivery. So for me, I connected the dots. So that curiosity was gone. Yeah.
Did you ever speak to your parents about this?
No. It's something that I had no problem being like this. So I didn't want to talk to them because I felt telling them they would feel guilty. Maybe I have a problem with it, or they will feel like they're the one responsible for it.
But how did your parents treat you? How many siblings do you have?
I have a big brother and a younger sister. And well, we were all loved, but I could sense I was really favored. And so when they wanted something, they had to ask me to go, ask my parents. And I was somehow spoiled because I simply got everything that I ever wanted.
Gathering from what you're saying, it seems like your parents gave you unconditional love. And yet, you never, ever spoke to them about your disability. How come?
Because, as I told you, it's not something that I felt was a problem to address it. And I can tell you this. There was a time where we had to go to KSMC in Moshi to fix my leg. For me, that was like a vacation. I didn't think I was going, to a hospital. I loved drawing a lot. So I usually would go to the hospital with my drawing books, my crayons, and I would reach there. I would ask my mother to take me to a shop there because I just thought they had better colors, like crayons. So she would take me to the shop and buy new ones. So as I told you, for me, I thought this is my life. This is my world. And there was a lot of bonding, me and my mother, during that period, I can tell you. We would even have matching outfits at the hospital. and I could sense people really admired us. And I was young, very young, and I could walk really properly with the artificial leg. And some people who were there would admire me because I would walk really confidently with that artificial leg without even other people knowing why is this girl here, until I lift up my trousers.
Yeah. So that was a very positive and very powerful way of dealing with it, one can say. What about the rest of the world? Did they treat you differently because you're disabled?
No, because I can tell you until today, after this interview, there are people that maybe don't even know there's a problem with my leg. Especially even when I went to the States the first time in 2000. When I go to the checkup, and then I just had to tell them, like, I have artificial leg, so I had to step aside for them to check me. But otherwise, the way I walk, you couldn't tell. You really couldn't tell. So I'm really used to it. For me, this is the way of living. Mm-hmm. This is my life.
Yeah, that's very, very powerful, Khadija. Definitely powerful. Now, I have been reading your CV, and I must admit, it is amazingly impressive. You have done a lot of things for the last 25 years, and you're still doing that. But what impresses me most about your CV is that everything that you have done for the last 25 years, and now you're still doing it, it has had something to do with helping people. For example, there was a project in Lushoto region whereby you assisted low-scale female farmers in Lushoto region in Tanzania to sell their products. What was this project about?
Okay, so in 2014, I was appointed by Oxfam Tanzania, an NGO, international NGO, to be the ambassador to create awareness about small-scale female farmers. What they're trying to do is they were trying to eliminate the broker that buys the products from the farmer and hike the price and sell it in the markets. So they're trying to create a connection between the farmer, and the people who buy them from, like in the cities. So what I thought that I can, as a designer, I can use models to sell and promote the women in Lushoto and their products that they produce. And I started with potatoes, Irish potatoes. So what I used to do is I created clothes for them, like very fashionable clothes. And I used to put makeup on them, hairstyle them, and I would send these models with the Irish potatoes in town, in offices, to sell the potatoes. And we would give contacts of the female farmer from Lushoto to these guys to buy straight and just eliminate the broker.
Okay. You're also a fashion icon because you've actually promoted the fashion industry in Tanzania to amazingly high levels. One of the examples was the Jama Fest, which was held in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania in 2019. It was actually the 4th edition of the East African Community Arts and Culture Festival. Now, I know that you played quite a major role in this festival. What exactly was your role here?
Jama Fest was an event that was under the Ministry of Arts and the Tanzanian National Council, Arts Council, BASATA. So they contacted me to help them to put together this fashion show. And of course, there were other designers as well. But I asked them if I could bring in people that I've always wanted to work with, which were people living with disability. And I wanted to work with people living with disability, and I knew where to find them at that point in time because I was also chosen ambassador for them. So I contacted the organization, Shivawata, and I said, I'm having a fashion show. I would like few people who love to be on stage, because I really, really like to work with people who have passion for these things. It's not like I should force them to be part of it. So I asked them, and they gave me names, and I didn't know what problem these young people had. So once I met them at the National Stadium, because the event was taking place at the National Stadium, once I met them, one girl had problems with both of her legs, and two young guys, they were completely blind. They couldn't see. And as I'm talking to them, there was someone like holding their hand, and I'm talking to them. I want them to be at the show. Wow. How are they going to be at the show? I'm like, do you like? They said, yes, I really like. So I went aside and spoke to my like a really long time model. His name is Richard. So I said, Richard, I really want them to be on stage. What can you do? What do you think will they be able to do? And he was really, really, I thank him for that until today, because he was like, yes, we can teach them. I was scared. What if they trip? I'll feel guilty,
I can understand that, yeah.
Yes. So Richard practiced with them, and after the practice at night, I dressed them, and one of the models, Rahim, I remember, he was like, I really, really thank you for making my dream come true. So then he did the show, and the girl actually came out twice. I even asked one of the designers, Ali Remtula, to dress her as well. So she came two rounds at the stage. So, and people are really impressed and amazed.
There was also the Red Ribbon Fashion Gala and the Bunge Fundraising Gala. Can you tell me something about this?
Okay. The Tanzania Red Ribbon Fashion Gala is something that I thought designers in the Tanzanian fashion industry should all come together and create awareness about the World AIDS Day, which is 1st of December. And it's an event that I started in 2007. It was held every year at different hotels in Dar es Salaam, and there's a point in time we even invited designers from Kenya. So it was all about creating awareness of World AIDS Day, and just make people aware that we should fight the disease, and we should give love to people living with HIV. And the Bunge fundraising gala, women members of parliament, they were fundraising to build rural area girls' secondary schools toilets, because the schools had few toilets. So they asked me to help them coordinate the fashion show. The fashion show was held in Dodoma at the Bunge grounds, and the members of parliament were the models. We didn't use other models.
So they were not professional models as such?
No. We only used the members of parliament on stage.
How did that go? Were they able to model?
Yes, they were. Actually, I did design a couple of outfits for them, and some actually came with their own creations. Some wanted to represent where they come from. So it was really fun, and they were modeling for a good cause.
And it's very impressive that the politicians actually go all into an event like this.
Yeah, there's some politician actually
Really?
Yes, coordinated a
Wow.
dance, and they danced on stage. And this was live on national TV. Yeah, TBC
Okay,
here in Tanzania.
that's
So it was,
very
yeah,
interesting.
yes. So people who they represent could see them in their regions. So it was a very big
Yes,
thing, and
yes.
for me to be part of it, it it was a good thing, for my career and for me personally, because there are women that I would, I can tell you, I was like, I would just read about them, and here I am, I'm directing them how to walk. One of them was
Yes. Yes. That's
Honorable
powerful, Khadija. That's
Anna
definitely
Tibaijuka.
powerful.
Yeah.
Did they manage to raise the funds enough to build the toilets for the
Oh
schoolgirls, or
yes,
for, or rather for the schools?
yes, they did, because a lot of companies came with their representative and supported them.
That's very impressive. Khadija, you've done a lot of things, and it is very impressive actually what you have done. When do you think was the peak of your career?
Wow, the very first I can tell you is when Basila Mwanakuzi won Miss Tanzania 1998, wearing my outfits, because I made her a beach wear and an evening wear. And when she was announced, she was wearing my evening wear. And I remember I'd given her my
You
mother's...
mean you mean a dress you have designed?
Yes, yeah.
I
She,
see.
believed me enough to actually wear evening dress designed in Tanzania, stitched in Tanzania. And
Yeah.
when they announced her as the winner, I remember I was sitting there, very young. I had my purse with me, and I threw my I was so happy that I threw my purse like three lanes in front of me, and nobody knew me. I was really, really young, and
How old were you at the time?
I think I was 20, but really slim and really young, and people thought...
Wow, 20?
Yeah, and people
That's
thought...
impressive.
People thought I bought that dress for her, because they didn't say design. That time, the fashion industry was really not happening. So they said sponsored by Khadija Mwanamboka. So people was like, where did you buy the outfit for her? I said, I didn't buy. I made it. So for me, it was like...
Yeah.
I was fighting people to know I didn't buy the outfit. I actually made it. I designed it.
Did this help other Tanzanians who are designers to sort of have motivation to design local clothes?
Well,
in order to either sell or do fashion shows? Yes,
it did, because the other years designers were doing evening wear for the beauty pageant, and I continued. In 2000, I did Jacqueline Tabalire's outfit, who was one of my first models, and she won. And the year after that, I did Happiness Mageza's outfit for Miss Tanzania. She won, and she went to Miss World. I even made her outfit for Miss World. So it's the first time someone is going for Miss World, and my name came down there. I remember my relatives in Oman saw that, and they were really proud. Like, my name was, on TV all over the world. So, yeah, so it did help, because now people have more confidence that we can do these things for them. They don't have to get outfits from outside. The second highlight of my career was in 2009, when the Tanzanian parliament asked me to produce a fashion show for the CPA. They actually have a conference where they meet all parliaments from different countries, Commonwealth countries. I think 51 countries. So they asked me to do it, but I thought I would not, represent the industry myself. So I asked other 6 fashion designers to work with me in this fashion show, and it was held in Arusha. So I told them the guest of honor will be the president, and I was teasing the designers, like, are you ready with your wave to wave at because you do your fashion round and then you come out and you wave, like, but you're gonna wave to the president. So I was teasing them how you should practice how you should wave to our president. And then during that time, and the MC said, but the president is not going to stay for the fashion show. Oh my God, you should have seen my face. I was like, we worked all this time and he's not going to stay? Yeah. He's going to have his dinner. I was told he's going to have his dinner and then he's going to leave. And I could not go backstage and tell those people the president is not going to be as our audience. So I kept quiet. I didn't tell anyone. Luckily, 5 minutes before the fashion show starts, the MC gets a note from the high table, like from, the protocol people. It's like, the president is going to stay for the fashion show. And then she came. She's like, he's going to stay for the fashion show. Are you sure you can handle everything? It's like, oh, I'm so prepared. I went to the DJ and I made him put both of, like, 2 CDs in 2 different players, just in case this one fails. There was a lot of dust where we're working because it was outdoor. It was just a marquee outdoor. And as the fashion show started, you know what? One player jammed, like he couldn't open the player. I remember him looking at me and he told me in Swahili, "Una akili sana, you're very clever." And I'm just looking at the president, he's just smiling, and I'm like, if you only knew what we're going through to deliver this show. And yeah, the show went on and it was my turn. So I had to leave the DJ, go backstage, and my shoes, I remember, were so dusty, like a lot of dust. And I just grabbed a towel and I took water and I'm like, I'm going like the president. And I'm sure people look at me, he's not going to see your shoes. But I was just like, I'm going in front of a president. So I went there and I waved, and that was a very proud moment. Like I was able to show my work, not only my work, that Tanzanian fashion, the big names of the fashion industry were there, and he was, the witness for that. So yeah, and him, he was really, humble and just laughing. And I'm like, you don't know like how much we wanted to show you our work. Yeah, so that was one of the highlight of my career. Yeah.
Khadija is a very loving person. She's a go-getter, and she's someone who will always be there for you whenever you need her support.
Her contribution has not been acknowledged enough.
What people don't understand is Khadija started out at a very, very young age.
So I walked up to the reception and there was she was a young girl at the time, she was in her 20s.
I never looked at Khadija as, a member of the family with a disability. She's always just been Khadija to us.
And she says she's doing an event. She needs creative material developed for the communication of the event, but she has no money. And this is for an ad agency, it's a waste of time by any standards. But there was something in me that just sort of came alive because of her boldness and her courage.
And what about your legacy? What do you want people to remember you for?
Okay. I think I want people to remember me as hardworking Tanzanian woman who values and appreciates humanity, who loves giving back. I don't believe you need to be rich to give back. Whatever little you have, you can share. And my love and passion for fashion, and I put my country first. There's a time I can tell you all my friends were gone, abroad for school. And I could, I could also have gone, but I don't know, I just felt responsible to stay back and to promote and develop the fashion industry of my country. And trust me, through my platform, Ujuzi Fashion Hub, I'm working with young girls, and they love fashion and they impress me. And what amazes me, they make me don't want to leave fashion, like make me want to continue to work with them. So for me, I can tell you it's 25 years, but I think I'll be doing it for as long as I live, because I can just see, working with them, they have so much energy and they're so confident that I can tell you, these kids are 7, they're 11, and they know what they want. They know their work, they know how they should be dressed. They're just full aware of themselves and what they want in life.
It's very amazing actually what you have done. And if I should add to that, as for your legacy, I would also say that your legacy is also defined by the fact that you have touched and impacted positively on people's lives. And that definitely also defines your legacy.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've decided I'm going to work with them, do fashion and do fine art, and
with the kids.
And my
Yes.
God willing, if we get support, I want to have I'll use the van. We'll use the van where we can go around in the regions and work with people from there as well, because I think with the vans we can reach more people and different places faster and at a very low cost than actually have classes in each region and have teachers there. So we can have the teachers move around and decide we want to have exhibition in Morogoro, we want to have a fashion show in Mwanza. We just travel with the bus. So I'm actually in the middle of I'm going to start a fundraising for the bus, and it might sound impossible, but I know it's possible.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Exactly.
Yes.
And talking about fashion and everything, what colors do you like?
Wow. I love blue. I love blue and different kind of shades of blue. I love purple, as you can see. I love purple and I love green. Yeah,
Okay.
Those are the
so
key
what is
colors
it
that I love.
specifically about the blue color that you like? Why blue?
I can tell you this. I think it brings, if I dressed up in blue, I feel my mood is really good. And I think I look good in blue. So yeah. And with purple, I think it just gives me power as a woman. It just adds that feminine side of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you advise others who are disabled in Tanzania and beyond? What advice do you have for them?
Well, I can advise them that they shouldn't let their physical condition define their future. They shouldn't feel like because I'm living with disability, I cannot achieve certain things. So I think praying it's very important. It's the first thing they should do, and just open up and not hide. A lot of people living with disability, I can see they have the tendency of shying away and putting themselves behind. And I don't know if it's an African culture or is it Tanzanian culture, And that's why I thank my parents, I thank my siblings, I thank my cousins, because I grew up thinking I'm normal, I'm just like them.
Because you were treated normally by your
Yes,
parents,
like
your
go out
cousins,
there,
and so
go
on.
swim, you know, ride a bicycle, you know, do whatever you want, you know. So I think the families need to embrace it, you know, embrace that we have this person in our family and feel it's okay. And I feel we're more blessed. I think we're more blessed because I feel we're gifted, you know. There's nothing wrong being like this. Yeah, so I think they should feel that they are blessed. There's a reason why God made us special. And yeah, just thank God and enjoy life.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And that's really, really powerful spirit, Khadija. It definitely is. So do you have anyone in particular you would like to thank?
Well, I want to thank God for the talent, for the blessing, for the energy, for the guts, you know, being in Tanzania at 18 to think about these things, you know, the fashion industry. I want to thank my parents, my late mom. I want to thank my siblings who were the first people that I shared this news with. I'm sure they didn't even understand what I was about to do, but they just supported me and they even became my models. I want to thank the media in Tanzania. I think they have been very supportive, and I think the media in Tanzania really understood when I was starting out what I'm all about and what I'm trying to do. My DJs, the DJs that I work with, all my models, the fashion designers. There's a lot of people to thank. I just want to thank everyone and God bless you all. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about a lot about my life and my legacy.
And I'm thanking you too, Khadija, because it is a great honor to be able to have this interview with you. You are definitely a true philanthropist. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.